This guide for Orcs is sponsored by Critical Reflex. Orcs is a pretty unique smashing together of card RPG, city builder, tower defense, and I have 15 quick tips for making a successful little orc-slaying castle town. Number 1. When playing as the Rune Warden faction, their road lengths dictate the money you get when the road is completed on both sides. Village tiles also give much higher payouts the longer the road, so carefully save up your villages to be placed at the end of your longest routes so you can be rich early on. Number 2. One of my main strategies is starting out with one straight path down the center from my base. That way I can put 3 of my buildings there that give buffs, increasing attack speed, damage, or HP in a 1-tile radius around each. Then next to those, I branch off 2 castles in opposite directions, and the entirety of both the castle structures will have all 3 of those buff effects applied to each of them, no matter how large they might expand to. Number 3. This faction's foot soldiers might not be as strong as their castles, but you can combine multiple of the same unit in just 1 tile. That frees you up a bit more around your base to place some other stuff. Number 4. I wrote this one down as chicken wing. It'll make sense. Now try to avoid making rounded out castles where none of its walls are directly touching outside tiles, because you'll not be able to expand those past that point. Instead, always build with one little chicken wing wall coming out from the side, which lets you continually build off the castle even once it's enclosed. So as a general rule of thumb when constructing your castles, chicken wing, chicken wing, chicken wing. Always leave yourself a section of wall sticking out that you plan to expand from. Number 5. Remember when I told you to build long roads? Well, also try to have one extra long main road to use specifically for the Lord's Share card. This can be used multiple times throughout a level and gives a higher payout of gold based on the road's total length. Number 6. When I first started playing Orcs, it became a regular occurrence in my home for my lady to shout, "Pause and build."
Pause and build!
See, it kinda bothered her how much gold she noticed I was wasting, as I often just watched things play out with a maxed out gold reserve. Yes, that wastes money. So actually use that built-in pause button before you reach a maxed out gold cap, because you can still continually place cards even when time is stalled.
Pause and build!
Number 7. When using tower modifier cards, they'll convert all the towers on one castle you put it on. However, if you expand on that castle after that, the newly built towers will not have those improved tower effects. So try to hold out as long as you can to use those tower modifier cards on the larger size castles, getting even more effective use out of them. Number 8. The main medieval meta I've concocted is focused on upgrading the Sharpshooter Guild card as soon as possible. Using an upgrade on this makes this castle segment go from plus 50% damage 1800 health to plus 150% damage 18,000 health. Then I build one mega chunky castle that includes that Sharpshooter Guild piece, which applies that very important 150% damage boost to the entire thing. Combine that with damage focused runes and building buffs, and you just created an OP fortress. Number 9. Depending on what type of stat boosting rune you socket the most of into a castle, will also imbue its tower's damage with the rune's element type. That can be used to exploit the incoming orcs' weaknesses, and you can see what their elemental type is before you even start a level by highlighting right here. To know which elemental matchups beat what, quickly memorize all this. Got it? No? Well, find that chart in the encyclopedia section of the main menu. Number 10. Now I'm switching over to the other playable faction, the Dune Reavers, which play so much differently you could pretty much call this a different game entirely. Unlike the Rune Warden faction, you don't get any money for completing their roads. However, placing lighthouses on longer roads will give you larger payouts of gold. Lighthouses are also useful for expanding the area you can send your foot soldiers to, which are this faction's main form of attack and defense. Number 11. Using the Lord's Favor card on a foot soldier will absorb units next to them, taking part of their stats and adding it to that one main unit. Also, during a fight, even if a group of units is currently dead, you can use the Lord's Favor card to revive them back into the fray. Number 12. I recommend keeping a large open area around your main base when you're playing this faction, since your troops can only occupy empty spaces or road tiles. This open area makes it so you have to micromanage them less, and you can easily form a meat shield of units to surround and protect that main building. As long as your main base isn't destroyed, every structure and unit comes right back after each wave of enemies. Number 13. When you get a chance to upgrade something, definitely go for this faction's weapon cards that can change your units to different classes. Upgrading the Spear card, for example, over doubles its HP and over triples its base damage. Now when you slap that onto one of your units, your soldiers will be drastically stronger than your basic units. Number 14. If you get lucky and get another barracks card in your deck, well, you're lucky. Here, with 2 barracks up, whenever I place a troop spawning house, it spits out a new unit from each barracks, letting you easily amass double the army in double the time. And last, number 15. I recommend also upgrading the Karn of Domination card, which provides a buff to units around it, increasing their attack and range. Most importantly though, when upgraded, it increases the range of units near it by 3, which makes this perfect for setting up an effective long-range sniper post for your archers. That's ORX for you, and it's starting really solid for just now releasing in early access. If it looks like your kind of thing, you'll find a link to it on Steam down in the video description. Right now there's 2 of the 4 planned factions in there, and there's 4 acts of the campaign to unlock. Easier said than done, since this does have some challenging roguelite elements. Now before I close this all out, a big thanks to ORX for sponsoring this video, and a huge thanks to you for watching this all the way up to the victorious ending. I'll see ya.